Man has hunted since the beginning of time. What began with crude weapons and animal images scrawled on cave walls has developed into a multi-million-dollar industry. From the Tilton Hiltons to the mansions in the marsh, we hunt and we cook. Everything from rabbits and raccoons to deer and ducks, while learning about the passion of sportsmen through the ages. Man's love affair with hunting is really not about the kill, but how to prepare a sumptuous wild game banquet after the hunt. Now get that camouflage apron and join me, Chef John Folse, for another Taste of Louisiana.
Funding for After the Hunt with Chef John Folse is brought to you by the Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Day is dawning on the Mississippi River and the sun is shining on Baton Rouge. Attractions, shopping, food, and Southern hospitality you know and love. Go BR and go brighter. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Our mission is to tell Louisiana's story to the world. And by the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. Vacation planning guides are available at louisianatravel.com. You wait all year for your vacation. Don't sleep through it.
All right! How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. How you doing, baby? Good to see you. Hey, girl. How y'all doing? Hey, how y'all doing? Good. Now that's what I'm talking about. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all, it's so good to have everybody with us today, joining me for yet another edition here in Sportsman's Paradise of A Taste of Louisiana. It's so great to have all of you here in the studio with us today, as well as all of you back home across the country. You should be here with us. It's really exciting, and the food's really good here. Come and see us. Our kitchen musicians today, Choupique, right here. Give them a hand. Huh? Now, I know that in Louisiana, Choupique is a fish that we get fantastic caviar out of, so you know the quality of these guys, right? Really, thank y'all so much. Y'all, there's a huge difference between market hunters of yesteryear and the sportsmen of today. Market hunters sent their harvest to the big cities where they were sold for awesome profits. Ultimately, greed dominated and large groups of animals were decimated, which led to the conservation regulations that we have today. Sadly, a byproduct of this decimation that still lingers on is the fact that true wild game cannot be sold in the marketplace. So where do we go to get our wild game for the table? Well, let's take a look. As I walk into modern-day meat markets and slaughterhouses, such as Eunice Superette in the heart of Cajun country, y'all, it's hard to believe that they still process wild game, such as wild boar and venison, from hunters who care to bring them here during hunting season to be further processed.
And we do deer, we do some elk, we do wild hogs. We process them, make sausage, make roast, wrap it, vacuum pack it in the freezer for when they come to pick it up. They just have to take it home.
In the mid-1800s, large game animals and birds filled meat markets such as these around the country. Hundreds of deer, bear, raccoon, wild turkey, geese, and ducks were displayed at game markets in New York. Sadly, hunters ignored common sense conservation and slaughtered wild animals without regard. By the end of the first quarter of the 1900s, market hunters could no longer commercially sell game except some fish. While the Migratory Bird Treaty Act makes it clear that no migratory bird can be bought or sold, there's absolutely no law prohibiting the sale of wild game, only the lack of inclusion in the Federal Meat Inspection Act, which prevents the U.S. Department of Agriculture from inspecting game. In America, you cannot sell animals unless they were killed in the presence of a USDA inspector, which is contrary to the hunt. Game enjoyed in restaurants today have been inspected pre- and post-mortem and have been raised on farms or ranches. However, Broken Arrow Ranch, located in Ingram, Texas, may be the only organization harvesting truly wild game meat. At Broken Arrow Ranch, a sanitary portable processing plant was developed for field harvesting.
What we wound up having to do was figure out, instead of taking the animals to the plant, we'd take the plant to the animals. And so we developed the first government-approved mobile processing facility. And we take that out to a ranch. We drive the ranch looking for the deer and antelope. We harvest them one by one. That's the difference between us and a regular hunter, is that essentially we go hunting just like a hunter does, but we take an inspector with us.
In the United States, you cannot buy or sell wild game meat. However, game birds such as wood pigeon and pheasant from northern Scotland can be purchased from purveyors such as D'Artagnan in Newark, New Jersey. Likewise, Scottish Wild Harvest in Plainfield, New Jersey imports hare, grouse, and venison from Scotland to sell in U.S. restaurants. Interestingly, outside the U.S., post-mortem inspection of game are enough. Science and technology today allow food inspectors to look at game meat and determine whether it's a healthy specimen. Hunters, chefs, and food manufacturers have inherited tangled and confusing regulations regarding the sale of game. However, these regulations did grow from abuses in overhunting, market hunting, and deplorable meat slaughtering conditions. Interestingly, wild alligators are hunted, processed, and sold commercially in Louisiana, but again, alligators are classified as fish, not wild game. If alligators that were decimated by overhunting recovered through good conservation and the meat is now allowed to be sold through regulated processors, then what prevents similar regulations for hunting and processing other wild game meats? Glory to the day, y'all, when U.S. citizens can once again purchase wild game that was born, raised, harvested, and processed in America and destined for your table. All right, thank you all so much. Thank you. Choupique over here, y'all. What do you think, huh? It's very interesting to watch a piece where we're talking about the just millions of animals that were slaughtered out there a couple of hundred years ago that have allowed for the enactment of the rules and regulations and the conservation and wildlife and fisheries and all of those great organizations that make sure that our game is protected for future generations, and also just management of the habitat. So it's wonderful to see that that has been put in place to make sure that that never happens again. And it's also great that we have friends like Chris, who you just saw a minute ago, Chris Hughes from Broken Arrow Ranch in Ingram, Texas, with us today, bringing the plant to the animal. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And y'all, Andy Thibodaux, you met Andy in the piece a while ago. You had that hard hat on as a big butcher looking out of that window across the counter. Look, he was impressive in Eunice Superette. Andy, nice to have you with us today.
Very much.
Absolutely. And then one of my favorite of all chefs in New Orleans, great restaurateur, Adolfo Garcia from Rio Mar, and from nice to have you.
Be here.
Good. Anyway, we're going to talk to all of those guys. We're going to talk to all of them in a minute. But y'all ready to cook, huh? Y'all ready to cook? You know, I've got to thinking, what should I do for you? Because I mean, you're a special group. I mean, you know, you really are. I've had a lot of audiences in here, but I said to myself earlier, I said, this is a special group. Thank you. So I decided to do sauerkraut for you. Hey, look, I love sauerkraut, but let's talk. The Germans of Louisiana, one of our 7 nations that created the Creoles, the mixture of colors, or as we call them, Creoles, the Creoles, the Germans brought with them a love of sauerkraut and a love of smoked meats, and of course, a wonderful ability to cook wild game. So we're paying homage to the Germans of the river parishes of Louisiana today. Anybody from Laplace or Hanville or anybody from Louisiana? Okay, good. All right, good. Huh? Okay, let me show you. Look at here, y'all. Wild boar chops. Oh, boy, just absolutely beautiful. Now, I'll season these. Oh, absolutely. Look at them again. I mean, I'll take one home with you. There you go, right there. Give me my chop bag here. Huh? Thank you so much. Good catch, huh? Wipe your hand. Wipe your hand over there. All right, so I've taken the chops, I've seasoned them well. I have onions and celery. Hey, this is a crazy look. This is fun. This is Animal House here, right? Anyway, onion, celery, bell pepper, garlic, bay leaves, juniper berries, all that wonderful stuff. I've already browned the chops right here. Can y'all see I have a skillet right here with beautiful brown chops in them right here, and we're going to come back and we're going to make the casserole with this. But first, I have to season the sauerkraut for you because I know you're excited about that and you want to get that done. So I'm going to put into my bowl of sauerkraut. Here it is right there. I know you can see that, huh? Oh, I couldn't wait for Wednesdays in high school to get this. Huh? Right out of the can. Huh? Sent especially to us direct from Alsace-Lorraine. Huh? Oh, yeah. Okay, here's some peppers, juniper berries, and all of that's going to go down in there as well. I'm going to move this out of the way, although I do need some of that wonderful ondue in a minute. Now I'm going to season this up and stir the sauerkraut around with all of those great seasonings in it. Oh, what about a little bit of beer? Huh? Maybe just a little. Huh? Give my towel back. How's my makeup? But anyway, y'all, so we put the this is where your moisture is going to come from right here, right? All the moisture is going to come right into it. And season that up really nice. A little salt and pepper, obviously, right down into it. Now, Chris, let's talk a little bit about Broken Arrow. How did y'all first get into it is probably the best question I could ask. Huh?
Well, my father started it back in 1983.
Right.
And it basically came around from his travels around the world, seeing game meats, venison and such on menus. But in 1983, it was virtually non-existent here in the United States. And
so he decided to get into the business. But how did y'all make that transition from hunting to actually finding out you could process game in some kind of way on a trailer? That had to be some
well,
steps
it took a lot of work, and like you said in the segment earlier, with the laws about harvesting game meat and the inspection of game meat were a little bit confusing and a little bit vague, and so we worked to try to keep everything safe, but keep things working for us.
So today you are in fact one of the, if not the only suppliers. So if people come to you, and what do y'all actually sell? I mean, I know you have a full array.
Sure. Well, we harvest 4 species of deer, 2 species of antelope, and wild boar.
Well, y'all know where to get it. You know what do you sell to the public or just a restaurant?
Absolutely. Restaurants, public, anybody that wants it.
Well, I was hoping you only sold a restaurant, because then I could sell to them. You could sell to me, like this. All right, y'all. Look, in the bottom of my roasting pan, bacon fat. You see it? I have bacon. Oh, yeah, bacon fat down there. Now I'm going to, let me use my hands here. I don't mind if I use my hands. I washed them yesterday, and I'm going to. So I have all of that down in here. Now I'm going to put my chops. Look. Look at that, Andy. Andy, you know what I mean? So I'm going to put my chops down in here like this, and then I'm going to go ahead and, again, cover it. Oh, I got to put some ondue here. Just a few little pieces of smoked ondue, again from the Germans, that great sausage from the Mississippi River. And I'm going to put a little bit more of that down in here like that. And apples on top, German again. Apples right on top like this. You know, you can't do anything in Germany without good apples. And potatoes. You have to have, these are shredded potatoes I'm going to put right on top. And again, you want to season it with salt, pepper, granulated garlic, all of those great things. I'm going to put right in here like that. A little pepper. Y'all with me? Yeah. Now this is going to have to go into an oven. So I'm going to put it right over here where we can go into that oven and get, y'all ready? You know, see what it looks like, huh? Okay, here we go. Put it right down here. Whew. This is... oh, this is really cooking here too, y'all. The chops look beautiful, and I want you to take a look at what this looks like right here. Take a look. Can you see that? Oh, just really great. And the sauerkraut cooks all the way down. It's just absolutely fantastic, beautiful. And y'all might be able to taste this later, maybe, huh? Y'all just a couple of weeks ago, we actually went out to do a wonderful, wonderful pork dish over at his restaurant. And I tell you, well, why don't we just look at it? Because what flavor out of that Spanish restaurant. Beautiful. Welcome everybody to Rio Mar Restaurant in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, and I'm standing here with not only one of my great friends, but one of the most fabulous chefs in the Crescent City of New Orleans, Adolfo Garcia. Let me toast you with this wine from Barcelona. Is this what we're cooking with today?
Yeah, we are.
Maybe we'll cook with some other wine today. That's a great one. That's a great drink.
We got more. We got more.
Well, thank you so much for being here because we're cooking wild boar today. What's the name of the dish?
We're going to do a chorizo stuffed loin of wild boar.
Oh, fantastic, y'all. So, Adolfo, now you were born in New Orleans, but your family's from South America, right?
Right. My family's from Panama. And you know, I came up in New Orleans, but I cooked a little bit in Europe. I cooked a long time in New York. And I've been back in New Orleans for about 15 years.
Well, you've made quite a name for yourself here doing authentic, real food of South America. How would you describe the food we're cooking today?
Right now, actually, this is a dish inspired by Spain, where a lot of wild game is used in the Central Plains. And we're cooking a unique dish, which is you don't see a lot. We're going to stuff it with chorizo.
Now, this is it. This is a loin of pork. The bones would be on here for pork chops. We've taken the bones off. And this is the chorizo. This is the air-dried sauce. And you've made a hole in the middle to stuff it in.
Correct.
Stuff the sausage right in the center.
And then we just put the sausage all the way in.
Now, in the pot here, you have what cooking? You have a little...
This is a sofrito. This is a Spanish version of Trinity. It's garlic, peppers, onions.
And you have it all right there on the table.
Here.
Now you're going to season it right now. What do you season it with?
A little salt and pepper, of course. That's very important.
Man, I love these sausages.
They're great, aren't they?
What a flavor it's going to put on the inside.
And in Spanish cuisine, paprika is one of the central ingredients. It's a dried pepper, but it's not spicy, but it has a slight smoky flavor.
Right, now one question about wild boar. You can throw that in there. The wild boar and domestic pig, especially with so much to eat in Louisiana, is pretty similar in flavor and pretty similar in fat as well.
Exactly, maybe a little bit leaner. Well, nowadays pork is so lean, but the wild boar is a lean animal because it runs.
Beautiful piece of meat. Now you're going to brown this nicely with the flavor on it inside the sofrito, which, as you say, is like onion, celery, bell pepper, garlic, all. And I see you have red and yellow bell pepper. Really beautiful. Reminds me of a courtyard in Spain, right?
There you go.
Now you see I'm distracted again because look at all these gorgeous olives, and you have all the great foods of South America, Spain, in your restaurants. That's just fantastic.
Now, John, one of the key dish ingredients is the caramel. So we brown some sugar. We're going to pour that right in with
that goes right around. So
exactly.
Caramelized sugar, a nice caramel, right around, and then wine goes into it next?
Yes, then we do a little bit of wine.
Okay, I'm going to put a little wine. Now, how long would this actually cook before we serve it?
We cook this about 2.5, maybe 2 hours until it's tender, depending on the size. And I would use a knife just to go in and out. Right. I would cover it. I'd put it in about 250-degree oven.
This is a beautiful pot, too. I really love it.
Earthenware. It distributes the heat evenly, keeps the moisture in there.
The ultimate Dutch oven. Now, you could use any cut of pork with this, the pork shoulder, the pork leg. Now, y'all, the smell in Rio Mar is absolutely incredible. All the flavors of the spice. The wine, of course, fantastic. And this is what it looks like when it's done. And look at that chorizo right in the middle. I can only imagine the flavor that sausage is put in there.
It's kind of pork inside of pork.
Hey.
I mean, how can you go wrong with
that? Give me a hug. You're a great man. I can't wait to get into that. See y'all later. Okay. Fantastic, y'all. Thanks so much. Give him a big hand, y'all. Give him a big hand. There you go. Thank y'all. Wasn't that a fantastic pork roast? Oh, that was really beautiful. That was really beautiful. I want to talk to Andy a little bit about Eunice Superette, because people actually bring their deer over to you, or their wild boar, or whatever they kill, to the Superette and Eunice, and y'all can actually then package it any way they want to, make sausage out of it. What do y'all do?
We can take it from carcass, skin it to make trophy mounts in it if they have a nice one. We can process it, cut it up, wrap it, vacuum pack it.
And you know what I like about Eunice Superette? You know the old markets used to have all of these interesting cuts of meat, the stew meats and the soup meats and all of those kind of things? You don't see that anymore because people say, what's that right there? And I say, that's liver. Yeah, my niece will say, what's that right there? I say, that's ribs. They've never seen anything like that. Oh, I was coming in a can. You opened it up, there's 6 little sausages in it. Is that right? Yeah, good. Huh? Okay, anyway, Andy, want to talk a little bit more about that, but look at my leg here, y'all. You know what we're doing now? Pulled pork sandwich using wild boar leg. What do you think, huh? Look at the seasonings here. I have pepper, I have cumin, I have all of these wonderful paprikas, I have smoky salt going down in there, and I'm going to take this front leg of wild boar, and you see the fat layer on it. There's a fair amount of fat on here, isn't there? A lot of, and look. I don't know who seasons your food, baby, but this is mine right here, huh? Oh, look at that rub, huh, Chris?
Rub it. That's a good
Isn't that the way to do it, Adolfo? Huh? Look at that, huh? And then on the bottom, the same way, just kind of rub that in like this and get it all. And look, that's the important thing. You want it to look just like that when it's done. You want it to look like Spain. Doesn't that look like Spain, everybody, huh? Looks really good. So once that's in there, you can even enhance it because it's going to go into the oven with just a little liquid smoke. Is kind of there's different qualities. Make sure you get a good quality, otherwise it's like putting Mercurochrome or whatever you call that stuff. Okay, now this is going to go into a roasting pan, and if you have one of these $3,500 copper roasters, I would suggest using that. If not, just go ahead and put it in one of your roasting pans. A little bit vegetables around the edge, a little bit stock goes into it like that. 350-degree oven, tightly covered, and the good news, you cannot overcook it. You cannot overcook this. Adolfo, come up here and give me a hand here. You don't mind giving me a hand. Let's welcome Adolfo, y'all.
All right, Chef.
Oh, that was
Great
a beautiful.
To be here.
Yeah, look, you got 2.
All right, let's do it.
Look. I want everybody to take a look. They have to take a good look. Y'all get a good look at that. Yeah, you just go ahead and break that apart. Oh, let me genuflect. Okay, y'all. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna put the sauce right there. I'm going to put the nice barbecue sauce. As you pull it, you can look. You have a little pair of tongs over there, and you can pull it in. I have some nice breading here that I'm going to nice little rolls. You can use crusty French bread. Y'all with me? Huh? Oh, yeah. So who's coming to bring their deer and meat over your way? I mean, are they coming from all over?
All over the place. They have local people. We have people that can't find anyone to process it for them, so we do it for them.
Now, what about you, Chris? Where do you get all of your customers? Is it nationwide?
All of our customers are nationwide. Our deer are harvested only in Texas.
Yeah, so only Texas deer.
Yep. Deer.
Is there a difference in Texas deer and Louisiana deer? Be careful. Be very careful. Huh? Huh?
No, not at all. The difference would be the species.
You're a good man, Chris.
Hey, when in Rome.
When in the swamplands do as the swamp dwellers do, right?
I'm looking at that pork sandwich. I want to get on your good side.
How we coming on? Oh, my God! I want to save some for home tonight. What do you? Come on!
I don't think the audience is gonna like that.
Okay, now why don't you stir that up really good, y'all? Look, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, after it's done.
Look, when you cook it the way I cook it, this is what it looks like, huh? Adolfo, perfect, you go ahead and stir that around, and I'm gonna put some of these. Look, I'm using a coleslaw. I made this earlier today, and I know most of you are saying, you make coleslaw? I thought you got that from the store in the deli. Huh? I know what you're saying. So put a lot of good coleslaw on there. That's the trimmings right here. And you ready to make some of this?
I think we're ready, Chef.
Oh, look at that, y'all. I guess so. Look at this, y'all. Huh? Let's try it one more time. All right. You know what I was thinking, Adolfo? I was thinking they were thinking to themselves, I can do that.
Exactly.
I can do that. What's the big deal? That's what it sounded like to me, huh? Curry, that's what it looked like on your face when I was looking across there. I was thinking it looked just like you could do this. I didn't know if you do or not, huh? Look at that.
Wait, Chef, what are you doing? You gonna eat it all by yourself?
Go ahead. This is like hunting camp. Everybody uses the same clothes. Everybody wears it. They fall out of bed. They put everybody's underwear on. You know, they don't. What do they care about any of this? Anyway, y'all, all of these great wild game dishes are wonderful if you just follow the rules, and that is There's absolutely no rules to cooking. Just use your imagination, have fun, invite friends over just like I've done today, and it's going to be a great experience, especially in those of you who can't get it. If you don't have friends who can deliver it to you, there's the man right there, Chris Hughes. Let's give him a hand. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Adolfo. Nice to have you. And thanks to every one of you for joining us in the swamps of Louisiana today. And remember that man's love affair with hunting is not about the kill, and it's not about the skill. It's all about the fabulous feast after the hunt, right here. We'll see you next time on A Taste of Louisiana. We're going to eat pork sandwiches. Right? Let's go.
To purchase the After the Hunt cookbook by Chef John Folse, an After the Hunt t-shirt, or program DVD, call the number on your screen.
Pork sandwich. Does it look good? All right, y'all go ahead. There's yours right there. Who wants one? Who wants a pork sandwich? Come on up here and get one. Come on up. Oh, we're going to give you a little pork sandwich here. Doesn't that smell good? There you go. Take that with you. All right. Oh, I got one. I got Oh, now you got to do it.
Funding for After the Hunt with Chef John Folse is brought to you by the Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Day is dawning on the Mississippi River and the sun is shining on Baton Rouge. Attractions, shopping, food, and Southern hospitality you know and love. Go BR and go brighter. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Our mission is to tell Louisiana's story to the world. And by the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. Vacation planning guides are available at louisianatravel.com. You wait all year for your vacation. Don't sleep through it.